selection of new and used guns, we've got something for every budget, big or small. Have an old gun collecting dust? Trade it in or turn it into cash. Need parts? We've got the largest selection of AR-15 components in the area, from springs to grips and buttstocks. Explore our ever-changing used inventory online at LouisianaGunShop.com. Louisiana Gun Shop, your one-stop shop for firearms and more.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Karen Crow Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros took 2 out of 3 from the Tampa Bay Rays at home this past weekend, including a 10-8 win on Saturday that featured a 2-run walk-off homer by Yordan Alvarez in the 9th inning. The series win improved the team's record to 45-47. Next up is a road series against the Washington Nationals. Game 1 is tonight with first pitch scheduled for 5:45, and you can listen to the action on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Speaking of Alvarez, Astros slugger was named to the 2026 All-Star Game in Philadelphia. Former LSU Tiger and current Pirates pitcher Paul Skeens was also named an All-Star for the 3rd consecutive year. We got Monday Night Football tonight for the World Cup knockout stages. It'll feature the United States versus Belgium. Big news dropped yesterday that star forward Flo Balogun's 1-game suspension that stemmed from a red card last match was revoked, making him available for tonight. Kickoff from Seattle is scheduled for 7 o'clock. Earlier in the day, it will be Portugal versus Spain at 2 o'clock. Here are some other final score results from the World Cup this past weekend. England outlasted Mexico 3-2. Norway beat Brazil 2-1. Star Neymar will call it a career from the World Cup because of the loss. France also advanced with a 1-0 win over Paraguay, and Morocco dominated Canada 3-0. I'm James Meche, and this has been your 2-minute drill on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana Sports Station, your home for the LSU Tigers and Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. Dynamic duos are nothing new to Louisiana sports fans. Breeze and Colston, Burrow and Chase. And here in Acadiana, we have our very own dynamic duo.
You're beautiful.
It's the big, bald, bearded, and beautiful one, Raymond Parch III.
I'm sexy and I know it.
And the man with the best head of hair in sports talk radio in Louisiana and Mississippi, James Meche. Here is RP3 and Meche on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Happy Monday to you and yours, and welcome in to RP3 and Meche. I'm the big, bald, beautiful one, Raymond Parch III, better known as RP3, and I'm joined inside the studios by the producer extraordinaire, the LAB award winner, the man with the best trash stash in sports talk media, or just sports media in the states of Louisiana, Mississippi, soon to be Yogurt U champion, not rocking the chain today. Not for sure why that is.
You sure?
Oh, there it is. That's my boy, James Meche. Good day, sir.
Oh, happy Monday, Raymond.
Man, Team USA's playing tonight. You gotta be rocking the chain, dude.
Of course.
God, you gotta will them to victory.
Come on, Cat.
Come on. I doubted you because you had on the sweatshirt. My apologies. I should have never done that.
What a shame.
I should not have done that. I need to be better. We got a great show to kick off this week with all of you. Kenneth Farrell, we know him. We love him on our station because he breaks down the World Cup better than most. He's going to be joining us at 12 o'clock, high noon, to talk about what we've seen so far in the round of 16 and then give us a preview of tonight's. Got 2 epic World Cup matches on tap tonight. Spain and Portugal and Team USA versus Belgium. We'll also get his thoughts recapping a thrilling weekend that was. So we're going to be talking all things World Cup with Kenneth Farrell at 12 o'clock. At 12:30, we're going to be talking all things Houston Astros baseball with our good friend, a man that needs no introduction because he has 17 different jobs and his name is everywhere. I'm just waiting for the injury attorney billboards in Houston to pop up for our guy. Brett Chansey from Locked On Astros will join us to talk all things Stros. Of course, all-star starters have been announced. Paul Skeens, not surprisingly, has been named to the all-star team as a starter for the third consecutive year. He's only been in Major League Baseball 3 years. I think that's a pretty good start to a career, right?
Going 3 for 3.
3 for 3 all-star games. He was a starter as a rookie, rookie of the year, Cy Young Award winner. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good start.
Career ERA under 2.
Yeah, it'd be great if the Pirates could give him more run support, but I digress.
Come on, Cat.
He's been named a starter, as has the big fella, Yordan Alvarez. He's making his 4th appearance, or will be making his 4th appearance in the Midsummer Classic, and his second time voted in as a starter. You can read more about Skeens and Alvarez going to the Midsummer Classic in Philadelphia by checking out ESPN SouthwestLouisiana.com. So we'll talk more a little bit about that. We'll recap the John Deere Classic as well. That went on over the weekend. And, of course, we'll take your phone calls like always, because that's what we do. Before we dive into this, because I'm sure it'll get brought up, I'm making nothing of the fact that Fears and Queen are not on the Summer League roster. And that's because they're your starters. Like, that's what Joe Dumars is trying to tell you. That's what the new head coach is trying to tell you. Maybe Fears doesn't start in place of Murray, but he's definitely going to be the 6th man. Do you need to have a guy that's going to be one of your starters and another guy that's going to be a rotational piece as a starter? You need to throw them into Summer League play? Or do you need to see the guys that are at the end of the bench that don't play to see what you got in them? That's what I think's happening there. I know there were some people going, oh, hey, that's interesting. No, not really. Joe, look, once again, Dumars drafted Fears as a lottery pick last year, right, James?
Yes, he did.
He traded away draft capital to go take Derek Queen as a lottery pick last year as well, correct?
Yes.
They're not going anywhere. They are firmly part of the foundation of what Joe Dumars is trying to build with the Pelicans. They probably don't need to play in the Summer League. Not to mention, the team is not going to be worried about that because they're trying to get the backups to the backups some playing time in Summer League play, including the young man that they drafted out of St. Aug late in the 2nd round. Like, your 2 lottery picks from a year ago aren't playing in the Summer League. That's not how Joe rolls. That's not how the new coach is going to roll. Once again, we're still waiting for the Pelicans to make moves. Apparently, the price has dropped for Trey Murphy from 4 first-round picks down to 3. Good luck.
Which is weird because we initially were hearing that it was already 3. So I don't know what's going on over there.
Good luck. I said it before. I think Joe Dumars really wants Trey Murphy to stay unless he's wowed by something. They're going to run this team back. They're going to run this team back. A team that didn't win 30 games a year ago. They're going to run it back, and they're going to say, hey, we're going to be healthy, and we added a 2nd-round pick that's a local kid. Watch out.
Okay.
Watch out.
This cat.
Maybe they go and get themselves a center. I've seen some rumors about KCP. How much tread does that cat have left, if anything at all?
Surely he's
Caldwell Pope, does he have anything left?
I was going to say, surely he's on his last legs. Because he's, what, in his mid-30s at this point?
That's the new rumors, that they're looking to add a depth piece at center behind Meche because they're high on Meche. So they want to bring in a veteran guy because apparently old man DeAndre Jordan's not enough. We need to go add KCP as well.
Well, KCP's a guard.
That's right. Well, who am I thinking of then?
I don't know. That's why I was kind of confused when you said that. Actually, Kentavious is younger than I thought. I thought Kentavious was like 35, 36. He actually somewhat recently turned 33. But at this point in time, 2013 lottery pick, most recently played for Memphis 14 actually started in 14 of the 51 games that he played in, but still. He would definitely be a backup.
I'm thinking of the other, who was that guy? He was an average player. He was like a backup post player for the Lakers. I might have to look it up. I feel like he was on the
Do you know the
COVID
time frame?
team, maybe? Like he was a backup for like Anthony Davis and all those guys?
Oh, give me a second.
You know who I'm talking about now?
I'm struggling on the name, but I'm about to look it up.
Yeah, it's not KCP because obviously, yeah, you're right. He's a guard. Remember, he's from Georgia, by the way. Played for the Bulldogs.
Are you talking about Dwight?
No. But see,
are you talking about JaVale McGee?
That's who I was thinking of. Sorry.
Yeah, Shaqtin' a Fool legend.
So I know we have our special, but let's dissect this for a couple minutes. Okay. So, in all seriousness, if they don't trade Trey, we keep hearing from Pelicans people that they want to add center depth because Meche's a young player, right? So, isn't that what DeAndre Jordan's supposed to be?
Well, okay.
So I'm confused. And then if the other rumor is they want to go add KCP if he gets cut, you already have DeJounte Murray and you have Jeremiah Fears who you took in the lottery last year to be his backup.
So this is why I'm so pressing of wanting the Pelicans to just make some moves.
What's the direction?
The 5 starters that they have, none of them are centers. That's the thing. They put Herb as the center.
That's not his natural position.
And that's what I'm saying. And Trey playing the shooting guard also isn't necessarily his natural position either.
No.
Because he's supposed to be a shooting guard.
What about the Orlando coach? The way they played in Orlando, you're locked into being an NBA guy. I want you to marinate on this. We're going to circle back to this because maybe the lack of moves, once again, I'm trying to give the Pelicans the benefit of the doubt. I'm trying to give Jody the benefit of the doubt, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the lack of moves that we're seeing, James, has more to do with the pieces that they have fit what the fired Orlando Magic head coach that's now their head coach wants to run. So I want you to marinate on that, do a little research. We're going to circle back to that topic later on today. How about that? Is that a deal?
Yeah.
And then you can tell me maybe we're looking at this wrong where Joe D with his new coach, they believe they already have the guys on the roster to do what they want to do as a team. Maybe I'll give him the benefit of the doubt here to see what he did the last 5 years in Orlando if the Pelicans have the pieces to do what the Magic did, which was constantly be like a play-in tournament team and, and all that good jazz.
I believe there's 2 reasons for why it feels like we haven't seen anything yet. But we will talk about that later on.
But we haven't seen anything while everyone else in the NBA is going crazy. It feels like the Pelicans are waiting for everyone to go to the buffet and eat everything, and they're just going to take the scraps. But I'm trying not to be negative.
They went to the salad bar.
And they're still in line.
Somehow,
some way. Let's go ahead and get things started like we always do. It's time for today's specials.
The fellas can't help with your lunch plans, but they can serve up the top stories of the day in bite-sized pieces. Time to order up today's specials here on RP3 and Meche, presented by Southwest Volkswagen, located at 6184 Johnston Street. Order up.
Our special for today is the World Cup. Your buddy, Neymar, didn't necessarily display the best sportsmanship after Brazil was knocked out yesterday, did he?
They were jawing back and forth before the penalty kick.
I know.
They were going at it. Then he decides to go up in his face. I don't know what he said, obviously, because he's speaking Portuguese.
It's true, because that's what they speak in Brazil, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Brazilian, it's Portuguese. And it's not Spanish either. It's just people get confused by that.
Only South American country that speaks Portuguese.
Correct. So Brazil is a name, but they have not been a legitimate power in a quarter century, right? Like they have a ton of World Cups. They've played for a ton of World Cup championships, but they have not been relevant on the national stage, the international stage, if you will, global stage when it comes to World Cups in nearly a quarter of a century. Not surprised that they get knocked out before the round of 16, they make it to the round of 16, right? They lost yesterday. That was a round of 16 game, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Not surprised. Neymar's going to go down as one of the greatest players of his generation to not win a World Cup. And that's a list that also includes David Beckham, right? And it more than likely is going to include Ronaldo. So there's great players, Rooney as well for England.
Yeah, Rooney.
Great players, generational talented players on the international stage that never won the World Cup. So Brazil getting knocked out, not all that surprising, right? I think what we've seen here over the holiday weekend, though, Norway is emerging. They have one of the I'm not into soccer all that much. Is Haaland one of the top 10 best players on the face of the planet?
He's definitely up there for sure.
Or maybe
because
he feels like he's ascended to that now with this World Cup performance. Is that safe?
He was already recognized as one of the best striker/forwards in the game, especially at his young age. But, I mean, he's taken it to a whole nother level.
He looks like the Hound or the Mountain from Game of Thrones that plays soccer. It is ridiculous. I love the celebration, the rowing, and everything like that. The whole country's behind it. I'm pulling for Norway. Good for them. But they're clearly a better team right now than Brazil is. And they showed it with a 2-1 victory on Sunday. We have the epic game that felt like a World Cup semifinal or even a championship match between Mexico and England. England goes down to 10 men. They have to play the majority of that match down a guy because of a red card.
They lost Kane in the 60th minute.
Correct. Now, he did score for them, which was huge because this was an absolutely bananas type of match. 3-2 in soccer is like 45-43 in the NFL, right? Like, that'd be a good comp.
I'd say like 34-28, 34-30.
Semantics, but that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. I'll defer to you. You're rocking the chain today, so I should. So, England moves on. Are they going to be able to finally get over the hump? You know, they haven't won a World Cup since, 1962 or 65, something like that, well before I was born, even before I think Kevin was born. So it's been a minute since England won a World Cup. They would go bananas if they actually got the chance to do so.
Gotta bring it home.
Morocco crushed Canada 3-0.
Yeah, that wasn't close.
France had their hands full, but Mbappe, I said that right.
There you go.
Oh, look at me. I'm growing.
There's some people that would jokingly say, like, Bappy.
Mbappe scores his 19th career World Cup goal. Ridiculous. They had their hands full. Paraguay was a very, very good team in this World Cup. But France moves on. And now we have some great matchups still to go. 2 blockbuster matches today. Portugal versus Spain. Spain appears to have gotten their act together. Ronaldo, can he finally get over the hump? He's never done it. I don't think Portugal's even played for the championship, World Cup championship. Right? So, Spain is your favorite here. They're one of the favorites along with France and England to win the whole thing. So if Ronaldo's going to do it, and this is more than likely his last time, it's going to begin at 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah, he announced it over the weekend that this was his last World Cup.
There you go.
So I wonder if there's like any extra motivation, which always sounds weird to say because like how are you not already like uber motivated playing the sport that you're a professional at? And the fact that this is an elimination game because it's single elim, there's no second chances after this. But also the fact that a legend of the game, a legend of this generation, and the best player of his country of all time is saying it's all or nothing at this point. I don't see why this Portugal team wouldn't feel like, man, we really need to make sure we're on our P's and Q's.
But could the emotion be too much for him?
That's another thing.
Right, because you have a younger team around Ronaldo. Are they going to be a little too amped up to push through for their captain, for their legend, for one of the greatest soccer players of all time? That's your concern there. Mm-hmm. Spain has shown after some early sluggishness that they've kind of got their act together a little bit. So that's going to be intriguing to see how that plays out. Of course, the nightcap is the one that we're going to be paying attention to on Fox, on Telemundo, on Fox 1. USA versus Belgium. The big news is that, can I call him Flo Rider? Am I allowed to do that? Is that not allowed? No, just Flo? Can I just call him Flo?
I would say just go Flo.
Okay, I'm just going to call him Flo.
Let's just go Flo. That's just the universal.
My wife was like, how is he allowed to play for us? I go, well, the birthright citizenship came through clutch. Airline said you can't fly back to England, so he was born in Brooklyn. Even though he grew up and was raised in England, he has chosen to play for the United States because he was technically born here, even though 2 months after his birth, he was back overseas. Shout out to that.
Timing matters.
Timing does matter.
We'll take it.
That's the big stunner, right?
Absolutely.
Now, because FIFA is all over the place, you know how incompetent and corrupt the NCAA is?
FIFA's right there.
That on a global stage.
Yeah, they're rivals.
Should our guy Flo, not Flo Rider, James says that's not allowed, should he have been given a red card to begin with against Bosnia? No. He shouldn't have. That was not a red card violation.
Not even close.
Not even close. But there's not really an appeals process involved here. There isn't. There's not an official appeals process for them to appeal it. All of a sudden, FIFA on Sunday,
out of the kindness of their hearts,
after a call from the President of the United States, allegedly.
Yeah. Not the first time.
Not the first time. Not the first time he's made a phone call. All of a sudden says that our guy, our best goal scorer, is eligible to play in this round of 16 match versus Belgium. I'll take it because it's Team USA, but it's fishy as all get out, man.
It's also not the first time that they've done this. So it's not like
not
this is
even
American.
In this World Cup. Ronaldo got a red card earlier in the tournament. Remember, he was supposed to be suspended in multiple games, and they're like, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's Ronaldo.
Correct. And that's why I wonder if Harry Kane is going to be suspended for the next match for England.
I had misspoke. It's not Kane, because Kane made the kick, the PK in the 60th minute. It was actually Kwanzaa who had got the red card 6 minutes prior.
There we go.
I had misspoke.
So I wonder if that happens. Because we already have some of our Elite Eight, if you will, matchups. France and Morocco. That's going to be good. That's going to be in Foxborough, by the way. Ooh. At Gillette Stadium. That's going to be on Thursday. I'm trying to see. Will England play Team USA if Team USA wins?
So England is on the opposite side of the bracket. They're going to play Norway next.
So if we win, who do we play?
Either Spain or Portugal.
Gross. Gross.
To be fair, I remember in the 2014 World Cup when USA and Portugal had to play because they were in the same group. We were worried that Portugal was going to win like 4-0. It actually tied. I think it was 0-0 by the end, but I know it was a tie.
There we go.
It was a draw. So
we'll see. Locked in. Got the kid asking me about. Kid just pops up over the weekend. Dad, can you tell me is Messi and Ronaldo are they like friends or frenemies?
Are they best buddies?
I'm like, what? How do you know about Messi? She goes, Dad, I'm on YouTube. Hello.
Come on, old man.
There we go. Oh, we'll talk more World Cup with Kenneth Farrell coming up at noon o'clock today. We got to take a time out. When we come back, we'll unveil our poll question of the day. That's next.
Today's specials here on RP3 and Meche, presented by Southwest Volkswagen, located at 6184 Johnston Street.
Ready to upgrade your drive? Right now at Southwest Volkswagen, the stunning 2026 Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport is yours with massive summer savings. Right now you can get 3.49% APR for 60 months or get a $3,500 customer bonus towards your best deal. Turn heads with its sleek, aggressive coupe-like styling, premium digital cockpit, and spacious high-tech interior. Don't wait. These offers end June 30th. Stop by Southwest Volkswagen today or visit southwestvdub.com for details.
Make sure to set your alarm and tune in Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock for Sports Shorts here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Join me, Ronnie Rance, and the Sports Shorts team of Tommy Christsan, Hunter McCann, and the crazy man, Joel Davis, as we break down the sports and teams that you love. The LSU Tigers, New Orleans Saints, and everything in between. Tune in Saturday mornings from 10 to noon for Sports Shorts here on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Before hitting the road, get hooked up at Match Trailers on Bertrand Drive. Everything you need from truck equipment, accessories, and trailer parts, Match Trailers has it. Match Trailers, 1849 Bertrand Drive in Lafayette, or give Matt a call at 235-7534.
Did you know you can get great tasting Clear Springs artesian water delivered to your office or your doorstep at home? Clear Springs is 100% local with their own bottling facility at the world-famous Kentwood Aquifer, no chemicals added. Just pure Kentwood, Louisiana artesian water. Clear Springs Water offers delivery of 5 or 3 gallon water service with a hot and cold temperature water cooler or even single-serve bottles delivered to your home or office. Easy to reach, clearsprings.net, then contact us tab or 337-519-3563.
It's 9 a.m. You just received a voicemail from your boss.
Hey, Janet. Heads up. We got an important meeting coming up Thursday. The big guys are coming into town, so I need you in charge of lunch, and we've got to look good.
Luckily for Janet, she knows a place, and she knows her boss will be impressed.
Honey Baked Ham can cater your next event. Delicious and freshly sliced deli trays, box lunches with sandwich, chips, and dessert. Or try our fresh salad boxes, and the perfect touch with a meat and cheese tray. Honey Baked Ham Company.
And now time for the Expert Minute, brought to you by Sugarland Exterminating.
Ever wonder why bugs seem to love your home as much as you do? One big reason? Moisture. Roaches, termites, and ants are drawn to damp areas. Check under sinks, around windows, and in attics for leaks or excess moisture. A little home maintenance goes a long way in keeping those pests out. Got unwanted guests? Call Sugarland Exterminating, 337-367-1414, or visit sugarlandexterminating.com for more information.
Sugarland Exterminating, the pest-free environment we're creating. Spiders, roaches, rats, and mice, those awful termites are not so nice. Get rid of all your pests right now. Call Sugarland Exterminating.
Termites, they're here. They're invasive. They can destroy your home if left untreated. Sugarland Exterminating has been in business for over 50 years, and they have the experience to effectively treat termites. Call 367-1414 or visit sugarlandexterminating.com.
And that has been your Expert Minute, brought to you by Sugarland Exterminating. Delta Home Center and Delta Trailer Sales, your one-stop shop for utility and cargo trailers. Heavy-duty dump and gooseneck trailers, portable buildings, cabins, decks, porches, fences, carports, and site-built metal shops. Located at Exit 7 in Carencro or at deltatrailersales.com.
One is known far and wide for his luscious head of hair.
We just wash the hair. You know, I work on my hair a long time.
The other wishes he still had his. Back to more RP3 and Meche.
Oh, as we were talking about the World Cup, the big time news that dropped yesterday was that Flo Balogun, who was supposed to be suspended and not available.
Rida.
Okay. He was supposed to not play tonight, but President Trump made a couple calls, said, our guy's going to be available, right? And FIFA said, yes, sir, he is. So Flo is going to be available for tonight's matchup versus Belgium, which makes it interesting because as we talked about in the opening segment for today's special, or as a part of today's special.
Yeah, you did.
That normally doesn't happen. It's happened a few times. This isn't the first time that's ever happened, but normally because there's no real appeal process, it just kind of happens randomly sometimes. So we asked you on Facebook and on X, was reversing Balogun's one-game suspension and pushing it a year down the road, was that the correct thing to do? especially because it was egregious that they even made that call in general. Yes, that it was justice that he should have never been red carded, and him being available for tonight's game, it makes FIFA feel like an American hero. Or no, basically like this is just absolutely ridiculous. This is against the rules. There is no law or order at this point. This is just total anarchy. Well, 83% of you have said yes, this was the correct thing to do, but the other 17%, Ray, are actually going in the opposite direction.
Well, this boils down to, is your patriotism more so than
your morals?
I
guess you could say.
Doing the right thing, right? And that becomes a sticky thing. Because the argument's going to be, well, FIFA is corrupt and other countries get a pass in other countries,
Other players in the past have gotten through and have gotten favoritism. So
why does it matter? Why it shouldn't matter to
why
us,
not us?
Right? So I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. It's a little smelly. Right? It's a little smelly. I think, obviously, soccer is kind of got a grip on the country right now, right? So everyone's on board. I don't know. How'd you vote?
So I definitely raised my eyebrow like, Balogun's playing? Really? Like, I was baffled. I could not believe that I saw that. Now, obviously, I was excited because it definitely increased US's chances of winning tonight.
Yeah.
The issue is, when you have stuff like this, you always open up a can of worms, Pandora's box, whatever you want to say. That always becomes a thing where it's like, well, if you're going to do it at this point, why can't we do it in these other scenarios? And it's never going to be the exact same. So it makes things really tough at times because any person ever that has an argument could be like, well, if you did it here, you need to do it here, but you're not doing it, so that's completely unfair. So to try and play like the fairness game, yeah, you could absolutely be strict. But to me, the way I see it is, I think it was justified. I think it's correct. I think it should not just be hammer of the law, boom, no questions asked, because not every scenario is the same. I think the fact that he was wrongfully red carded took him out for majority of the second half, because I think it happened in like the 52nd minute. It was a few minutes into the second half. So it was unfair that they made the wrong call using the wrong process to do so, because remember, they used VAR, they slowed it down, they did still shots to come up with a call when you're not supposed to use it in those types of instances. So the way I kind of described it earlier in the day was, normally two wrongs don't make a right, but I think because of how bad the call was and the fact that they used the wrong procedure to come to the wrong conclusion, them making this wrong type of decision ends up actually being correct to me, even though 2 to 3 wrongs normally don't make a right. I think they do in this one, because I think it is absolutely justified. And I think it should happen more often. Like, it shouldn't just be like, boom, that's the ruling, we're not going anywhere else. Like, no. Like, you should actually sit down and be like, review it, decide, was this correct, yes or no, and come to a conclusion. Decide if it stands or if you're going to overturn it like you would a call in a game.
It's complicated.
It's very complicated. It's very sticky.
It's I don't think anyone's going to care if they win tonight. Right? Like, if they find a way to beat Belgium tonight and advance further than they've ever gone before, and this historic run continues, no one's going to care. It's the same thing with, like, the NCAA. It's like when someone grants someone eligibility for LSU. When Tiger fans are going to be okay, even though the NCAA may be a train wreck. Now, if it went against them, they'd be upset.
Yeah.
Or if one of their rivals gets a player ruled ineligible, they're not going to cry foul about that.
And it makes all the sense of the world.
So this is where fandom comes in.
Yeah, and it makes all the sense of the world that Belgium's team and fans are in absolute uproar, because, like, how are you going to do this when we were getting ready 2 days ago, or even yesterday when the game is in 2 days, to not have to see your best offensive player, and now all of a sudden we're making a last-minute change, especially because it was so late. I think that's also another big timing issue, was the fact that the game played on Wednesday night, and they didn't make a decision to change the ruling and change the eligibility for flow until Sunday morning. Less than 48 hours before the matchup with Belgium. So
that's fair.
I think that's my big critique there, is the fact that they waited so long to do it before the next match. Because if the match would have been, let's say, on Friday or Saturday, unless like they really sped up the process, Flo probably wouldn't have played. So the fact that they had the 5 days, it made things hairy in an extended time. So if I feel like they should have came to the conclusion sooner. That's my big thing. Because it definitely kind of puts the other team in a bad spot.
It does. Keep voting on the poll question of the day. Keep leaving your comments on Facebook and on X and on our YouTube channel. We'd love to hear from you. Got to take a time out. When we come back, how about we open up those phone lines? ESPN hotline will be open. 337-706-0111. That's 337-706-0111. You're listening to RP3 and Meche.
This is RP3 and Meche live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Oh, we've had an absolute whirlwind of a day and over the weekend with some of those showers. Speaking of storms, though, it is storm season. It has arrived. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles and Mid-South Power Solutions in Crowley do want to bring you these hurricane safety tips. Make sure to secure your home and bring in outdoor items before the storm makes landfall. Have an emergency kit stocked with food, water, and medication. Know your evacuation routes and listen to local authorities. Stay informed with a battery-powered radio and make sure you have fresh batteries. Remember, safety is in your hands. These hurricane preparedness tips are powered by Mid-South Power Solutions in Crowley, your local Generac dealer. Visit midsouthpowersolutions.com.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros took 2 out of 3 from the Tampa Bay Rays at home this past weekend, including a 10-8 win on Saturday that featured a 2-run walk-off homer by Yordan Alvarez in the 9th inning. The series win improved the team's record to 45-47. Next up is a road series against the Washington Nationals. Game 1 is tonight with first pitch scheduled for 5:45, and you can listen to the action on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Speaking of Alvarez, Astros' slugger was named to the 2026 All-Star Game in Philadelphia. Former LSU Tiger and current Pirates pitcher Paul Skeens was also named an All-Star for the 3rd consecutive year. We got Monday Night Football tonight for the World Cup knockout stages. It'll feature the United States versus Belgium. Big news dropped yesterday that star forward Flo Balogun's 1-game suspension that stemmed from a red card last match was revoked, making him available for tonight. Kickoff from Seattle is scheduled for 7 o'clock. Earlier in the day, it will be Portugal versus Spain at 2 o'clock. Here are some other final score results from the World Cup this past weekend. England outlasted Mexico 3-2. Norway beat Brazil 2-1. Star Neymar will call it a career from the World Cup because of the loss. France also advanced with a 1-0 win over Paraguay, and Morocco dominated Canada 3-0. I'm James Meche, and this has been your 2-minute drill on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana Sports Station, your home for the LSU Tigers and Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Road coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
Only the best of the best will stand proudly on the platform when Michael's Men's Club brings you the 15th Annual Stripper Olympics. Wednesday, July 15th. It's a special night of fun and games when the Stripper Olympics returns to Michael's Men's Club. Guys, it's a no-holds-barred competition. Ladies, you have a chance to win big if you're in the game. Michael's Men's Club invites you to battle it out in 3 categories. The pole, the floor show, and the most ancient art of them all, the lap dance. With $650 cash per category. First place overall gets $1,500. Second place overall gets $1,000. And third overall gets $500. That's $5,000 in total Stripper Olympics cash to be awarded. Plus a feature in Exotic Dancer magazine. Professional entertainers come from all over the USA to compete for the $5,000 in cash. Guys, mark your calendar and tell your friends, because this is the event you cannot miss. The 15th Annual Stripper Olympics. Wednesday, July 15th at Lafayette's premier gentleman's establishment, Michael's Men's Club. Highway 90 Broussard. Doors open at 5 and show starts at 7 sharp. Tickets $30 at the door. Let the games begin. Get more details now at michaelsmensclub.com.
Ready to transform your backyard into the summer paradise you've always dreamed of? With Duplessis Builders custom gunite pool packages, we make it simple to own a stunning, long-lasting, in-ground pool built just for you. Choose from classic designs, all customizable to fit your space, style, and budget. Our pools come with quality finishes, energy-efficient equipment, beautiful lighting, and professional installation from excavation to decking, so you can dive in before the next heat wave hits. Don't just dream it, build it. Visit duplessisbuilders.net.
Acadiana Legal Services Corporation provides free access to legal services. Their work spans across Louisiana. They're committed to helping eligible individuals navigate legal challenges from family law to public benefits. Their team delivers reliable, high-quality representation. Acadiana Legal Services provides comprehensive benefits and a supportive work environment. Join a team that makes a difference in the lives of people. Apply today at la-law.org/careers or careers@la-law.org. Looking for a great deal on golf this summer? Head to Farm Alley Golf Course for the Sizzlin' Summer Special. Every Tuesday through Thursday, tee off anytime between noon and 3:30 and enjoy 18 holes of championship golf, including a cart for just $55. That's unbeatable summer golf at an unbeatable price. Gather your friends, sharpen your game, and make the most of your afternoons at Farm Alley Golf Course. Book your tee time today and take advantage of the Sizzlin' Summer Special, only at Farm Alley.
You're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Your home for the best local sports talk in Southwest Louisiana.
If you want to chop it up with us, now would be the time here on RP3 and Meche. ESPN hotline is open, 337-706-0111. That's 337-706-0111. Because hour number 2 will have not one but 2 guests. So we won't have time in hour number 2 to take your phone calls. So if you want to chop it up with us, feel free to do so. We talked about the Major League Baseball All-Star starters being named. Of course, Paul Skeens, former LSU All-American national champion, has been named a starter yet again, as well as Yordan Alvarez, the Houston Astros slugger, becoming an All-Star for the 4th time. It wasn't the only thing that happened over the weekend. We still had more NBA news, and that's where I want to have this conversation right now, James. Why does it feel like we kept getting told LeBron to Golden State, LeBron to Golden State, LeBron to Golden State? We already know from good sources that there is going to be a documentary film crew that's going to follow LeBron around for his final year.
Of course there is.
Which we anticipate, if that's the case, if there's a documentary film crew, it feels like very much like a Last Dance sort of, or Netflix quarterback type of show that's going to document everything for King James. Which makes it feel like it's going to be the last season of his career. Is that fair?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that really is like the expectation.
Why wouldn't it be Cleveland? Like, I'm not saying – I don't think LeBron's interested in chasing another ring.
No.
I really don't. I think he gave up on that whole getting people to convince them about him being right there next to Jordan in the all-time GOAT conversation a long time ago. I think he's carved out his own legacy where he's won championships. The fact that he did it in Cleveland as well, right? His home state, that's the team. He brought them their first championship. The fact that he proved that he could win one with the Lakers, and I mean, he has spent more time with the Lakers than he did with the Heat.
Which sounds crazy to say.
Correct.
And because like it did feel like it was a couple of years ago when we heard the announcement that LeBron was going to sign
Correct.
with Los Angeles, but that was back in 2018.
The pandemic aged us by like a decade. So we don't know how time exists anymore.
It's very true.
So I guess my question to you in that regard is, isn't that more of the kind of storybook ending for him is, hey, I started off in Cleveland. I left. I kind of went to college to hang out with my buds in Miami, won a couple championships, played in 4 finals. Then I came back to Cleveland, went back to more finals, brought them their first world championship ever. And then I decided to leave again. And I went to L.A. because I wanted to follow my other pursuits. Some of that was, doing the Space Jam sequel, which was a big part why he was in L.A., playing for the Legacy franchise, playing for the franchise that, Kareem and Magic and Kobe and Shaq all played for, and he won a title there.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're all thinking, oh, he wants to play with Steph. He wants to have fun. He wants to play with Steph. Why wouldn't it be Cleveland? Like, why wouldn't he go back and... Now, obviously, playing with Garland would fit better with his style, but Garland's with the Clippers now, so that doesn't matter. I don't know. That's what feels more like this is the thing that we're going to document. I'm going to go where it all began, and I'm going to have one more ride with the franchise that I came up with in my state. Like, that's what I'm kind of feeling. I could be wrong. He could sign with Golden State and prove me to be a liar, but that's what it kind of feels like to me.
I mean, it makes all the sense in the world to just go do it, have it be, it's your hometown team. It's where you began your career. You left, you came back, you had your redemption. You actually brought what was promised to them in winning a championship. And now that you had fulfilled that promise, you end up leaving. And then you're like, okay, this is my curtain call. I'm bringing it back one more time, having it be the beginning, middle, and end to my long historic basketball career. I think it makes all the sense of the world. I just don't think that LeBron necessarily thinks in that way. I'm not LeBron. I'm not close by any stretch. I know. Shocker. But
this man says he's not close to LeBron.
I know. Like, who would have thought? I mean, I'm James. His last name's James. Like, you would have thought there would have been that connection. Nevertheless, it's not the case. But I think with the way LeBron has acted in the past, I would believe that he's already made his peace with Cleveland. He started there, couldn't get it done. Left, became a better player, came back, had the redemption, got them the championship, and was like, all right, I've done what I need to do. Now I'm going to go do my own thing. And then that's when he left to go do his own thing in Los Angeles.
But
and now he wants to go play with like
but what's
a player.
Left for him to do? Like I get that he wants to play with Steph.
Because he's been talking about that for like
But that Golden State team is barely a play-in team, even with LeBron. Maybe they're a 5 seed. The West is stacked.
I don't really think he cares about that. Because it's been described from what I understand that he just wants to have fun, and he's always had.
Are you going to play for the team that you were duking it out with in the NBA Finals?
I don't think that matters to him because he has loved playing with Steph Curry any chance that he gets. He's gotten to do it multiple different ways, especially in the Olympics. You could tell that he was just having an absolute ball of a time and has wanted to find a way to make it happen in an actual NBA season. And I think now the opportunity is here. At the end of his career, he can finally stop worrying about getting a championship and can be like, all right, now I can take a step back. I can have fun and play with the guy that I've always wanted to play with. And I think that's how he wants to end his career.
I guess. I guess that leads me to my next question. LeBron still moves the needle some.
Mm-hmm.
Not what he used to.
It's not like he will.
Is it? I guess my next question is: does it really matter where LeBron goes? Like, is it going to matter in the landscape of teams competing for a championship where LeBron goes?
I think if he
because
goes,
the Lakers have not been a contender in 4 years, 5 years.
Mm-hmm. They've been first or second round exits.
Golden State is not a contender, even with LeBron on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there anywhere that LeBron can go where you're going to be like, oh, okay, like it'll make headlines because it's LeBron James,
mm-hmm.
but is it really going to matter? That's my question.
I think if he goes to a team that's actually got a legitimate chance to win a championship, absolutely. Because whoever gets them, they're not going to get worse by getting LeBron. They're still going to get better. Because he's always been so versatile, plays so many different roles, that if you need him to be a lesser and be like a quote-unquote like fourth option as the starter, or if he were to go to like a contender, like let's say for like example, the Thunder, or wanted to go play in New York and go play for the Knicks for whatever reason, like depending on where the rotation is, maybe he accepts even a lesser role and is like, he is the number one guy coming off the bench. Which sounds crazy to say. I don't think that would be the case, but just throwing out the scenarios, you're asking, does he move the needle at all? I think depending on the team that he would go to, yes. Because you're still getting a good basketball player.
He's 40, dude.
It hasn't mattered the last handful of years, and he's still in really good shape.
There's a difference, though. There's a difference between playing really well and playing even at an all-star level and being one of the top 5 players in the league.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a difference.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's top 5 or top 10, but I mean, you're still getting a
difference.
You're still getting a quality basketball player who's one of the most intelligent basketball minds.
So you're telling me wherever he goes, they become a title contender. That's what you're telling me.
I'm saying they get better.
Okay. Well, you put them on the Hornets, yeah, they get better. You put them on the Pelicans, yeah, they get better.
Yeah.
How much? Like, but
they're not going to go from tanking to NBA championship with getting LeBron.
Correct. So, what are the teams that actually have a legitimate chance to become contenders with LeBron James that would sign him?
I think it would be a team that's already got.
It's not Golden State because I don't like their roster.
No, it's not Golden State, and I don't think he would go to Miami anyway.
Yeah,
but
because the way him and Riley that did not end.
Also, the way that team is constructed is just.
I don't love it.
It's still weird, and I'm not convinced of Miami,
right,
even with.
So give me a wild card here.
I mean,
besides Golden State, give me a wild card. If it's not Golden State or Cleveland,
I know that Philly is put in their pitch as like, look, we just got Jaylen Brown, and that's what I'm saying. Like Philly now feels like a legit team in the East,
and they've made some good like mid-tier moves as well.
Yeah, so it's like if they got LeBron, I'm not saying that it's a guaranteed title, but even if you took away LeBron,
it'd be a team like that though. It'd be something. It'd be a team like that, or like Minnesota, or somebody that's kind of not quite there.
They're not going to go from tier 2 to tier 1, but I mean,
correct.
But you could see like a half tier increase by getting LeBron, even at his age.
I mean, because
you'd be like, okay, this team actually looks even better now. I'm not going to say that they're going to win it or make the title, but I mean, definitely better odds than before, but not exponentially.
It'll be interesting to see where he goes. It really will. We got to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll wrap up our number 1 here on RP3 and Mesh.
This is RP3 and Mesh, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is your home for the Houston Astros.
And the Astros stun the Mariners!
Hunter Brown, Yordan Alvarez, and the rest of the Astros are looking to get back to the postseason. You can listen to every pitch, hit, and thrilling victory of the Houston Astros.
Incredible!
As Robert Ford and Steve Sparks will be on the call. Tune in this season for live Astros baseball on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Around Acadiana, community means supporting the businesses that make our hometown special. That's why we're proud to spotlight local companies that are certified South Louisiana.
Delta Home Center and Delta Trailer Sales, your one-stop shop for utility and cargo trailers. Heavy-duty dump and gooseneck trailers, portable buildings, cabins, decks, porches, fences, carports, and site-built metal shops. Located at Exit 7 in Carencro or at deltatrailersales.com.
When you support local businesses, you strengthen the communities we call home. Shop local, support local. Certified South Louisiana.
When strength matters, go to apfabllp.com. Precision built to last, from heavy-duty aluminum structural welding using TIG, MIG, and stick to custom metal fabrication designed exactly for your project. Need safety inspections, weld analysis, or 24-hour metal repairs? Trust A&P to get the job done. For quality craftsmanship and dependable service, visit apfabllp.com. That's apfabllp.com. A&P Fabrication and Construction. Built strong, built right.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices.
To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
MeTV is America's #1 classic entertainment television network. And here's one of the reasons everybody loves MeTV.
Oh, it's a classic.
The great comedy lineup on weeknights.
This will be fun. Come on.
With Meche.
Loaded with snappy comebacks.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I was just funning with Barney.
And Everybody Loves Raymond.
Now we got a show.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by the LHSAA and the Louisiana High School Athletic Directors Association.
We pride ourselves on treating our listeners like royalty.
Excuse me.
Not actual members of the royal family, mind you, but rather individuals who wear paper crowns. Hey, it's better than nothing. Back to more of ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles.
How many small sliders can you eat? Well, you can find out by taking part in Lafayette's Small Sliders Eating Contest held at the Lafayette Anniversary Bash on Saturday, July 25th at 4611 Ambassador Caffrey Parkway. Of course, that's their Ambassador location. During the location's Anniversary Bash, which also features bounce houses and games for kids, live music, and more, there will be the eating contest. So sign up and see what it takes to win the contest. All you have to do is visit ESPNSouthwestLouisiana.com and click on the Small Sliders sign-up sheet. If you already didn't love Holland in the World Cup, of course, the Norwegian.
Give it to us.
He gives us another gem.
There we go.
He was asked post-game, he said, "It took 28 years for my country, of course, Norway, to make it back to the World Cup." He paused for a second and then said, "I'm 25, so you really can't blame me for that." What a national treasure.
He's been one of the big stars, and their fans have too. And a World Cup that's seen more traditional powers that are kind of on the decline, Germany, Netherlands, Brazil, all kind of fall short. Having Norway there and their fans go crazy.
It's fun to watch.
It's been fun to watch.
It's pretty nice.
Hour 1 is in the books. Hour number 2, we're going to kick it off talking more World Cup with Kenneth Farrell. That's next.
Stop smoking with Alex Goen patented hypnosis.
My name's Robin Fletcher. I've smoked for 46 years. I went to a seminar in March. I took my 3 sisters and my brother-in-law and my sister's best friend and them went. None of them have smoked a cigarette, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
My name is Jen Carpenter. I went to a seminar to stop smoking, and it worked.
The only stop smoking method in America proven useful by the U.S. Patent Office because it reprograms your subconscious. Alex Goen breaks your connection to cigarettes, coffee, stress, driving, even other smokers. No cravings, irritability, or weight gain. You walk in a smoker and you walk out free. Only $59.99 or your money back. Stop Smoking Seminar Saturday, July 18th, the Hilton Garden Inn Cajun Dome at 2 p.m. Weight loss at 11 a.m. Sign up at alexgoen.com. That's ALEXGOEN. alexgoen.com.
Do you know how many tax resolution firms have been forced to close because they were taking advantage of people or have gone out of business? It happens all the time. Hi, this is Kerry Bryson with the Bryson Law Firm. As a matter of fact, they're national tax relief companies that are currently under court orders to cease operations. So if you have IRS issues, do not fall for the threats and scare tactics of the national so-called tax relief companies. The Bryson Law Firm has been doing this for decades. We have a AAA BBB rating, and our entire focus is IRS problems and tax liability issues. An IRS problem is a legal problem. Let the Bryson Law Firm help you get relief the right way. So if you owe back taxes or haven't filed returns in years, it's time to call the Bryson Law Firm and finally resolve your tax issues. Don't put it off any longer. Call the Bryson Law Firm. Our headquarters are in Lafayette, and we have offices statewide. Or visit BrysonLawFirm.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm. The Bryson Law Firm, LSB filing number LA2519684.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Carencro Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros took 2 out of 3 from the Tampa Bay Rays at home this past weekend, including a 10-8 win on Saturday that featured a 2-run walk-off homer by Yordan Alvarez in the 9th inning. The series win improved the team's record to 45-47. Next up is a road series against the Washington Nationals. Game 1 is tonight with first pitch scheduled for 5:45, and you can listen to the action on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Speaking of Alvarez, Astros slugger was named to the 2026 All-Star Game in Philadelphia. Former LSU Tiger and current Pirates pitcher Paul Skeens was also named an All-Star for the 3rd consecutive year. We got Monday Night Football tonight for the World Cup knockout stages. It'll feature the United States versus Belgium. Big news dropped yesterday that star forward Flo Balogun's 1-game suspension that stemmed from a red card last match was revoked, making him available for tonight. Kickoff from Seattle is scheduled for 7 o'clock. Earlier in the day, it will be Portugal versus Spain at 2 o'clock. Here are some other final score results from the World Cup this past weekend. England outlasted Mexico 3-2. Norway beat Brazil 2-1. Star Neymar will call it a career from the World Cup because of the loss. France also advanced with a 1-0 win over Paraguay, and Morocco dominated Canada 3-0. I'm James Meche, and this has been your 2-minute drill on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana Sports Station, your home for the LSU Tigers and Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. Dynamic duos are nothing new to Louisiana sports fans. Breeze and Colston, Burrow and Chase. And here in Acadiana, we have our very own dynamic duo.
You're beautiful.
It's the big, bald, bearded, and beautiful one, Raymond Parch III.
I'm sexy and I know it.
And the man with the best head of hair in sports talk radio in Louisiana and Mississippi, James Meche. Here is RP3 and Meche on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Hour number 2 has arrived here on this Monday edition of RP3 and Meche as we broadcast live from inside the Beal and Hebert studios here in Upper Lafayette. Beal and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown lawyers. I'm Raymond Parch III, better known as RP3, also known as the big, bald, beautiful one, very sarcastically, by the way. I'm joined, as always, by the producer extraordinaire, the LAB award winner, James Meche. World Cup, World Cup, World Cup. Who says you don't have anything to talk about in the months of June and July in Sports Talk Radio? I've always said that's a false narrative. That's just lazy people talking. There's always something to talk about. And this World Cup here in Canada and the United States and Mexico has been absolutely thrilling so far. And we're getting great matches. We're getting dramatic endings and so much more. And to talk about the World Cup round of 16 that is going on currently, we have 2 epic matches tonight. Oh, blockbuster. We had another one last night that felt like a World Cup semifinal. is our old friend Kenneth Farrell joins us here on RP3 and Meche. Kenneth, good day to you, bud. Have you had a time to rest at all with the consumption of all this great World Cup action that we've had?
Not really, nor do I want to rest because it's been so thrilling. I think nearly every game has had something in it. And yesterday, the game last night was just top class. It was great entertainment. And, you know, what a result, what a game, what passion, the intensity, the fans, everything about it was fantastic.
It is. It was blockbuster. It felt like a championship match in so many ways. And I want to start there because England had their hands full, and they stepped up in a big way. Of course, Harry Kane gets a goal because that's what he does. They're able to overcome only having 10 men on the pitch for the majority of it. They're playing in hostile territory down in Mexico, where the home crowd was insane against a very good Mexico team.
Yeah.
Did that change your perception on what this English team can actually do?
Yeah, it did. It most definitely did because they showed grit and determination. I think they had to play over 30 minutes with one man down to 10 men. And to go they were really playing against the environment because player for player, England are better than Mexico. But Mexico had just come off one of the best performances against Ecuador in the round previous that I've ever seen them play. I was so impressed with Mexico. But England, player for player, are better than Mexico, but they go into the Azteca, which is famous in itself for Mexico not losing there. They're playing at altitude. They're playing against an unbelievable Mexican support. And they go in and they have to play against all the circumstances. On any other given day in the Mercedes Dome in Atlanta, you would think it's an easy game for England. Not easy, but it's one they should take home. But going into this one, that wasn't the case. And Mexico did come out and gave it everything, and it ended up being, I could only say, a top-class entertainment value game. It was unbelievable. But the things that England showed me, and probably everybody, was the heart, the grit, the determination, the discipline. They scored 2 great goals, obviously, early on. Mexico bounced back right before halftime. And then when England get the ejection, the red card, you got to look at yourself then and you're going like, you're sucking breath because it's up so high. Yeah, Mexico's coming on to you, the crowd's coming on to you, and they dug deep and they basically showed me what the extra ingredient would be needed to go all the way in the game. So I really do think they changed my mind yesterday.
I want to talk about Norway because Holland it looks like he stepped off a Game of Thrones and is just dominating in this World Cup. The fan base is so behind them. I love the rowing. I love how they take over every venue that they go to. And they've had a majestic run. Brazil's not the Brazilian team that you and I grew up with by far. Right? They haven't been a legit contender in more than 20 years. But to still take them down and advance on, what has stood out to you about this year's Norway team?
Well, they came through their qualifying round scoring lots of goals. What they have is they've an organized team with a few creative players in there. But they have probably the best goal scorer in the world. And you can put Haaland on any team anywhere and he'll get a goal for you. And it's not like he's always involved in the game. He's just in the right place at the right time to turn the game over. So Norway score a lot of goals, particularly through Haaland. But they're very disciplined defensively as well. Haaland right now is pretty much unstoppable. That's something people are going to have to deal with, and England's going to have to deal with it in the next round when they play them. Brazil, I agree with you. They're not the teams of past, but they're still a very, very good team. And it was another game that was very, very tight. But I think Norway deserved to win it. I think any time that you play Norway with Haaland in the team, there is a chance you're going to lose. England should be better, player for player, than Norway. But Norway are very disciplined in their game. They defend well. They know exactly what they're doing. And if you get the ball to Haaland in front of goal or anywhere around the box, there's always a chance they're going to score. The guy is unbelievable, to be honest with you.
Another unbelievable player that stepped up big over this weekend, of course, was Mbappe. getting the lone goal needed there for France, your title contender, to beat a very good Paraguay team that played lights out this entire World Cup. When you watch France in this World Cup, look, they got the job done. You survive in advance. That's the job. And they are considered one of the favorites. Is there anything about them, though, that gives you pause in this World Cup where you go, okay, like they should be winning. They're going to be favorites in most of these matchups. But is there anything that gives you pause when you watch them play?
Yeah, the only thing that would give me, they are the favorites. They are playing better than anybody else, and they're probably, as again, player for player, probably the best team left in the World Cup right now. The thing gives me pause is that they allow themselves to get pushed around and get caught up in situations they shouldn't be caught up in. Like, they were disrupted in their game, and they ended up winning at 1-0 on a penalty. But Paraguay went out to disrupt France and to get in their faces and to be late on tackles and to be rough with them. And the French, certainly towards the end of the first half, are starting to get caught up in that. They've got to stay disciplined because teams that play against them know that they'll respond and they'll lose concentration. And if it was just coming down to tactics and soccer and skill and world-class players, you'd say, yeah, they're the best team in it. But it did surprise me how they got drawn into this back and forth with Paraguayan players. And to be fair, they just scraped through 1-0 at the end of the day. They could have gone to a extra time, and they could have gone to penalties. And that would be a very, it's anybody's game when it goes to penalties. So that would be the pause. They've got to have more discipline. Teams know that they can rough them up, and they know that the players are temperamental and that they can lose their focus when that happens. So that would be the only real pause I would have about them, is that psychological pause.
We're talking with Kenneth Farrell, former chairman of the National Premier Soccer League. He joins us here on RP3 and Meche. Morocco feels like a team that we are not talking enough about. They absolutely crushed the face of Canada the other day. What do they do so well?
Go ahead.
No, what do they do so well?
They possess the ball really well. They're very quick. They're very athletic. When they attack fast. They don't cut the ball back and allow players to get back behind the ball. So some teams have a habit of when they break is their first touch will be to safety and they'll turn backwards with it, which allows opponent teams to get many players behind the ball and start defending. I don't see them do that. They're very direct. When they win the ball back and they see an opportunity to penetrate, they go past people. They take people one-on-one, and they're very, very skillful. They're very creative in midfield. And you're right, they haven't been talked about a lot because on their day, if they're performing at their best, they might be able to shock the world. And they could sneak through to a final. It'd be the first time we'd have an African team in the final. But they're very technically sound. They're very fast. They're very swift, and they're very direct when they go forward. And it's a scary proposition if you're playing against them. That's for sure.
Kenneth, I want to look towards the big news that we got yesterday, the fact that Flo Balogun actually, after all, will play in tonight's matchup versus Belgium. I want to get your overall reaction to this because this just feels like an utter shocker. It felt like it was a done deal, and then all of a sudden, less than 48 hours before the actual kickoff of the match, they decide to switch it up.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting one. I mean, rules are rules. They shouldn't be broken. That's, no matter, anyone will put pressure on people to get their player in the game if they think there's a possibility of doing it. But if it had been another country, there's two sides to this coin for me. So the first side is it shouldn't have been done. I'm glad Balogun is playing, but it shouldn't have been done. The rules are the rules. Now, it might be a bad rule, and it might be a bad call by the referee, which I think is unanimous across the world that it was a bad call. And he got red carded, and then there's no chance for appeal on a one-game suspension in a World Cup game. So that really should have been stuck to. But on the other side of the coin, I mean, it's going to be a great spectacle for us to have our best player or one of our best players on the pitch, and certainly the one that puts the ball in the back of the net for us and is so creative that you think on one side of the coin it's fair. He really shouldn't have been ejected. There should have been a review process. So it really falls down to FIFA fixing that rule. Now, as I said, other teams, particularly Belgium, will be really upset that they didn't stick to the rules, that they suspended his game suspension for a year, I suppose. And it means that he can play today. It'll be reviewed later, and he'll probably take the suspension later on. But at the same time, whereas FIFA, I think, really have a problem that they have to sort out with this, in my own mind, at least it'll bring the conversation to the surface, because referees do make bad calls, and you should be able.
Yeah.
You should be able, especially at this level, to take it to a discipline, take it to a committee and see if it actually was the correct call. So I'm glad he's playing personally. That's selfishly. But if I was looking at it as a governing side of things, which I have governed a National League, I wouldn't have made that decision. I would have held firm on the rules, because the rules are the same, should be the same for everybody. There are other teams that played in bracket games in the World Cup in the earlier rounds or in the brackets that had players ejected that couldn't play the next game, and they had no right to appeal it. Whether they would have won the appeal or not, they had no right to appeal it. Or it wasn't. So why this one? I think FIFA has some explaining to do. I wouldn't blame anybody that put pressure on FIFA to make the change if they thought it could be changed. But I do think FIFA have a problem to deal with on that one. However, he'll play tonight. USA will look great tonight. Mm-hmm. Hopefully they win, and we'll move on. And this story will be fixed later on, when FIFA come out and tell them how they handle the situation and maybe change the rules going forward. But for me, I'm delighted to see him in the team.
Yeah, because when we look at American football, because I'm really right there with you, Kenneth. I agree with pretty much everything you said. I didn't really have any qualms. I just wish they would allow teams and countries to appeal, because referees make bad calls all the time, and especially when it comes to one that is so affecting to a team where U.S. were down a man for almost the whole second half, so almost half of the game. Still were able to win, but then the fact that it further bleeds into the next match, especially in a knockout stage where it's do or die, it's single elimination. This is just so baffling that they have not changed over the years, and they've made exceptions. They did so with Ronaldo. They've done it with other players in the past. So they sometimes show favoritism, but overall, they need to have a real appeal process and look at it and be like, okay, this was legit. We need to keep the red card. If not, we'll change it, like they do in football in the middle of a game. And I think the only reason they really did so with it this time was the fact that the Brazilian referee that made the red card come out of nowhere was the fact that he used the VAR review instead of just using the normal process, because he used the review in the wrong way. He had the wrong process of getting to the conclusion.
Yeah, that's right. Like this, again, I'll agree with that. There's no question referees make bad calls. The U.S. had already paid the penalty for playing a man down for the rest of the game. That couldn't be changed. But the fact that there's so much significance and so much at stake that a call like that cannot be appealed right after the game, and there's no committee there to review it and to change the decision, is ridiculous with what's on the line at the last 16 of the World Cup. It just doesn't make any sense. The thing that probably will come out of it, two good things are going to come out of it. One is FIFA's going to have a look at this rule and upgrade when it comes to this type of stuff. And the other thing is Balogun is playing. But FIFA have a lot to answer for on this one. I mean, I think, look, I give FIFA a lot of credit. We've had an incredible World Cup. It's like Super Bowls all over the country every day. It's fantastic. But this one here that they're at fault for, I don't blame anybody else. I don't blame the player. I'm not even going to blame the referee for making a bad call. I'm not going to blame anybody on this thing, but it needs to be looked at. There's too much consequence, and it's too serious, and there's too much consequence in these games for a referee to make a bad call that cannot be reviewed by a committee immediately after the game.
And looking towards tonight's matchup, Balogun will be available. So it seems like nothing's really going to change for Coach Pochettino and company. It seems like they'll run with the same formation, have the same game plan. But with that being the case, I'm wondering, how does it look for Belgium's side, you've described it before, and we all know that Belgium's an older squad at this point. They're still good, but not quite what they used to be. They had the miracle last week to come back and win. But I wonder where they're mentally at after having the exhausting comeback win, plus finding out, oh my goodness, FIFA just screwed us over.
Yeah. Well, it might give them some incentive. The decision might give them some incentive to go out there and up their game, because they haven't excited me. as I say, one player that I think can control a game if he's on his game is De Bruyne. But there was another thing that Lukaku, they take off the bench when they're having trouble. And he's getting older too, but he kind of makes a difference in the game when he comes on, so we have to watch out for that. I think the USA have a lot more going for them as far as their belief, and as I call it, the intangible. There's something about the squad that believes that they're scared of nothing, and they're not playing scared. They're playing really, really well. But it doesn't mean that you can overlook Belgium. And any other given day, the last time we played Belgium in a friendly pre-World Cup, I think we got beat 4-1, but then that was just a friendly and they're trying out things. I think right now we're the better team than they are right now. So, and we're better put together. But again, when you play a game, if you're a team or just a player, you really don't look past your next game, and you've got to be focused and on it and expect the best from the team that you're playing against, and then play games till you run out of them, which I hope is the final, right? So tonight, hopefully the USA are focused, that Belgium do not come out and have won the game, but they haven't proved it so far. They haven't proved it. They had it probably gives them some impetus to think that they come back from 2 down very late in the game to go on and win it. But they haven't proved it to me so far. I could be proven wrong, but I think the USA is better than them. I was anticipating that Belgium would have more possession than the USA in the game, but my mind's been changing on that as well. The USA have been doing really well in possession of the ball, and I think it'll probably be 50-50 tonight. I think both teams will get chances. I do believe that, our keeper will have to be big, and our centre-backs will have to be big, and the holding midfielders will have to be strong. But when it comes down to Pulisic, it comes down to Balogun, McKinney, I think we really have some players that can create chances and score goals for us. So it's going to be an entertaining game one way or the other. I think it's going to be as exciting as last night.
We're all right there with you, Kenneth. We appreciate you coming on. Enjoy tonight's match, and we'll get you back on next week, all right?
All right, take care.
And there goes our guy, Kenneth Farrell, former chairman of the National Premier Soccer League. We're going to go ahead and take a timeout. When we come back, more RP3 and Meche will open up the phone lines once again before we talk some Houston Astros with Brett Chansey. That's coming up next.
This is RP3 and Meche live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
We're that much closer to football season, American football. That means that media days for college football is also coming up. So the fellas here at ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles are packing their bags and heading to Florida, Tampa to be exact, for SEC Media Days. Tune in starting Monday, July 20th, as RP3 Meche and the Lowdown with D-Lo will be broadcasting live from Radio Row for ESPN's Live from SEC Media Day coverage, powered by Service Chevrolet Cadillac. In addition to the live shows, the fellows will be providing boots-on-the-ground daily reports for the Jordy Holbrook Show and Footnotes. Kick off the 2026 football season in Tampa with ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana Sports Station.
Hello, everyone. This is Jeff Palermo. Join us on Tuesday nights for Tiger Rag Radio. Myself, Todd Horn, and Glenn Gilbo give you the latest happenings in Tiger Town and across the SEC. We talk to coaches, analysts, and those in the know when it comes to the Tigers and the Southeastern Conference. We cover all the sports: football, baseball, basketball, softball, and gymnastics. That's Tuesday nights right here on ESPN 103.7 in Lafayette and 104.1 in Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Only the best of the best will stand proudly on the platform when Michael's Men's Club brings you the 15th Annual Stripper Olympics. Wednesday, July 15th. It's a special night of fun and games when the Stripper Olympics returns to Michael's Men's Club. Guys, it's a no-holds-barred competition. Ladies, you have a chance to win big if you're in the game. Michael's Men's Club invites you to battle it out in 3 categories: the pole, the floor show, and the most ancient art of them all, the lap dance. With $650 cash per category. First place overall gets $1,500. Second place overall gets $1,000. And third overall gets $500. That's $5,000 in total Stripper Olympics cash to be awarded. Plus a feature in Exotic Dancer magazine. Professional entertainers come from all over the USA to compete for the $5,000 in cash. Guys, mark your calendar and tell your friends, because this is the event you cannot miss. The 15th Annual Stripper Olympics. Wednesday, July 15th at Lafayette's premier gentleman's establishment, Michael's Men's Club. Highway 90 Broussard. Doors open at 5 and show starts at 7 sharp. Tickets $30 at the door. Let the games begin. Get more details now at michaelsmensclub.com.
Did you know you can get great tasting Clear Springs artesian water delivered to your office or your doorstep at home? Clear Springs is 100% local with their own bottling facility at the world-famous Kentwood Aquifer, no chemicals added. Just pure Kentwood, Louisiana artesian water. Clear Springs Water offers delivery of 5 or 3-gallon water service with a hot and cold temperature water cooler, or even single-serve bottles delivered to your home or office. Easy to reach, clearsprings.net, then contact us tab, or 337-519-3563.
Need peace of mind with your estate planning? Turn to Beal & Aber, your trusted hometown lawyers. At Beal & Aber, we make estate planning simple and stress-free, ensuring your legacy is secure and your future is in the right hands. Don't wait. Schedule your consultation today at BealAbear.com. That's BealAbear.com. Safeguarding your tomorrow today.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices. To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
You're listening to the 2026 LAB Award winner for Best Live On-Site Remote Super Bowl Radio Row coverage and Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative. Here on 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
If you're needing to get yourself a new rifle or shotgun for hunting season, or maybe picking up a new handgun to protect your home and your family, or you're just running low on ammo, go see my friends over at Louisiana Gun Shop, located at 2927 Highway 90 East in Broussard today. They're open Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. until 6 o'clock in the evening, and they have a tremendous selection of both new or used handguns, rifles, shotguns, ammo, suppressors, and even apparel. And they pride themselves on spending their money locally because they're a small business themselves. That's why they've teamed up with a local finance company that's currently offering 0 down and same as cash for 1 year. That's right. If you're a little short on cash, you can finance your guns, ammo, and even suppressors. Go see my friends at Louisiana Gun Shop, located at 2927 Highway 90 East in Broussard today, and tell them RP3 sent you. Oh. All right, we have some time here. We were going to set aside some time to talk about Chris Goddard. We'll do that briefly here. He won the John Deere Classic, which is not a signature event on the PGA Tour, but I always enjoy it. And our guy who finished third at the Open Championship a year ago, okay, and finished tied for second at the PGA this year, James Meche. Well, the former Big Ten Player of the Year, first team Big All-10 at Maryland, he won yet again, picking up a win at the John Deere Classic. He also won in a playoff at the Waste Management Phoenix Open earlier this year over Matsuzama, and he's also won this year at the Sony Open in Hawaii. So I just want to break this down for you. He got his first win back in the day in 2024 at the Myrtle Beach Classic.
Okay.
Last year, he won the Genesis Scottish Open, beating Rory McIlroy, okay, who finished as runner-up. That's your tune-up always for the Open Championship. Most of your European players will play that. That'll be this week because the Open Championship's the following week, okay? He beat Rory by 2 strokes and then ended up placing third at last year's Open Championship, the Quest for the Claret Jug, right? Mm-hmm. And now he's won 3 times on tour this year. That's a player that is ascending. Just a name to keep a watch on, so to speak. He's won on the PGA Tour now 5 times, 3 of them this year alone, including the Waste Management Phoenix Open, and now the John Deere Classic. He finished third last year at the Open Championship. This is a guy whose game is kind of built for links-style golf. Congratulations on him for winning. He shot a ridiculous, I want to say 62 or 63 yesterday. It was insane.
It was a 62. He had 66, 68, 68, 62. So he finished 20 under.
He rallied from a 5-shot deficit in the final round by closing out with a 9 under 62 to win the John Deere Classic. That's a guy who's playing some of his best golf. That's a name to keep an eye on, so to speak, for the Open Championship in a couple weeks. Now, I asked you about the Smellicans.
Yes.
We have a couple minutes here before we bring on Brett Chansey. I asked you, are we looking at this the wrong way? Are we looking at the lack of moves by the Pelicans because they believe they have the roster that is perfect for their new head coach, who's formerly the Orlando Magic head coach, that they have all the pieces that they needed? That's why they're not being ultra aggressive in the draft or in free agency.
I think it definitely plays a factor because when I look a lot at these players, we know that coach is more of like a tough, hard-nosed type of guy where you feel like he might be trying to coach football, but it's really he's coaching basketball. I look at a lot of these players, and I would say they're overall like they have like a certain type of intensity and a type of physicality that I think Coach Mosley is looking for. I look at DeJounte Murray in that sense because I remember hearing like his story growing up. He had to adult up very quickly. So that kind of built up like a certain type of toughness, and he has a certain level of mentality now that not everybody has. Trey, I'm not going to say is soft, but he's not fully there, and that's why I feel like maybe they've been more open to trading him, but have such a high price tag because they don't want to necessarily get rid of him. Sadiq obviously is built like the Hulk, so he's kind of right there with you as well. Big physical guy. Same thing obviously with Zion, the way he's built. And then Herb, he's obviously not built the same as a Sadiq or a Zion, but the way he plays defense as well, he can definitely give you certain type of physicality. Jeremiah Fears, we know the whole joke. He wears the number 0, so when you look on the back, it says 0 Fears. He attacks the basket like nobody else. And then Yves Missi, I've seen him really kind of have like a certain type of attitude at times. It's just he's still kind of learning the game of basketball. So it does feel like with a lot of these players, and that's a part of the main rotation, it does feel like they kind of have like that certain type of MO that Coach Mosley is looking for. I think that plays a factor. But also the other point is, I'm wondering if they are just uber patient and want to see things for themselves and see it play out for basically a full year before they make any types of big-time decisions. Because we saw that last year. We saw Joe was like, we'll keep Willie Green until they finally decided to fire him. They decided that they wanted to see what Zion looked like for a year. He was healthy, and obviously they're committed to him.
But they did make moves. Like, he made moves in the draft last year
and
gave up, and he went out and got
his guys.
Poole and that terrible contract, right? So they made moves last year. That's why it's weird that it's all quiet on the Western Front, so to speak, for a team that only won less than 30 games a year ago. And if you're just going to go out there and try to tell us, hey, we're just going to be healthy, okay. So if that's the mentality, that's why I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt here. No, we're up against it. I'm trying to give Joe D the benefit of the doubt here. But if your biggest move is bringing back DeAndre Jordan and getting off the Poole contract and adding a depth piece somewhere and just hoping that this team is going to be healthy. So what you're telling me is that you're committed to having a team win maybe 42, 43 games.
Maybe.
Okay?
Maybe.
That's not good enough.
No, it's not.
That's been the bar for 2 decades, and the Pelicans and the Pelicans fan base deserves more. I'm just being honest.
And I could see with it being Joe D, and I know we are up against the break, but I do think Joe D is trying to still keep at least that old school mentality of we're trying to keep the guys together and build up continuity instead of it feeling like 1 year guy, year in and year out.
But that's not in his DNA. Like, go back and see what he did with the Pistons. He traded Jerry Stackhouse. He traded Grant Hill. He brought in Ben Wallace via trade. He brought in Chauncey Billups via trade. He brought in Rasheed Wallace via trade. He drafted Tayshaun Prince. He hired Larry Brown. He reshuffled the roster and the coaching staff, and they won a chip. So, like, what are we doing? That's all I'm saying. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? What are we doing?
I don't know what to tell you.
It's a good answer. It's an honest answer, and I appreciate you for it. We got to take a timeout. That's honesty. When we come back, we'll talk Astros with Brett Chansey. That's next.
This is RP3 and Meche live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we got to go fast now.
The Houston Astros took 2 out of 3 from the Tampa Bay Rays at home this past weekend, including a 10-8 win on Saturday that featured a 2-run walk-off homer by Yordan Alvarez in the 9th inning. The series win improved the team's record to 45-47. Next up is a road series against the Washington Nationals. Game 1 is tonight with first pitch scheduled for 5:45, and you can listen to the action on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Speaking of Alvarez, Astros slugger was named to the 2026 All-Star Game in Philadelphia. Former LSU Tiger and current Pirates pitcher Paul Skeens was also named an All-Star for the 3rd consecutive year. We got Monday Night Football tonight for the World Cup knockout stages. It'll feature the United States versus Belgium. Big news dropped yesterday that star forward Flo Balogun's 1-game suspension that stemmed from a red card last match was revoked, making him available for tonight. Kickoff from Seattle is scheduled for 7 o'clock. Earlier in the day, it will be Portugal versus Spain at 2 o'clock. Here are some other final score results from the World Cup this past weekend. England outlasted Mexico 3-2. Norway beat Brazil 2-1. Star Neymar will call it a career from the World Cup because of the loss. France also advanced with a 1-0 win over Paraguay, and Morocco dominated Canada 3-0. I'm James Meche, and this has been your 2-minute drill on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana Sports Station, your home for the LSU Tigers and Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Row coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
The heart of Acadiana is its local businesses, the people, families, and companies that help our communities thrive. Here's a message from a proud certified South Louisiana business.
Candyland Cottage is the place to satisfy all your cravings. Find delicious ice creams, fresh fudges, truffles, hot dogs, sausage po' boys, Frito pies, and homemade shakes. Visit us in Scott and Rain for a sweet treat. Plan your next birthday party or field trip at Candyland Cottage.
Shop local, support local. Certified South Louisiana.
Lose weight with Alex Goen patented hypnosis.
This is Lisa Stofan. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods. I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband, and he lost weight.
The only weight loss method in America proven useful by the U.S. Patent Office because it reprograms your subconscious. Engineered to kill cravings, emotional eating, and late-night fridge attacks. Get full on half the food, so you lose the weight and you keep it off. 10 pounds, 30 pounds, whatever your goal. Only $59.99 or your money back. Weight loss seminar Saturday, July 18th at the Hilton Garden Inn Cajun Dome at 11 a.m. Stop smoking at 2 p.m. Sign up at alexgoen.com. That's ALEXGOEN.com. alexgoen.com.
It's 9 a.m. You just received a voicemail from your boss.
Hey, Janet. Heads up. We got an important meeting coming up Thursday. The big guys are coming into town, so I need you in charge of lunch, and we've got to look good.
Luckily for Janet, she knows a place, and she knows her boss will be impressed.
Honey Baked Ham can cater your next event. Delicious and freshly sliced deli trays, box lunches with sandwich, chips, and dessert. Or try our fresh salad boxes and the perfect touch with a meat and cheese tray. Honey Baked Ham Company.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce exhibit number 1.
MeTV is America's #1 classic television network.
There can only be one number 1, me.
MeTV features over 60 of the greatest classic TV series each week.
Go with the winner.
Enjoy dramas, comedies, westerns, sci-fi, and more.
You just watch me.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
MeTV is memorable entertainment television.
You're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station. Your home for the Houston Astros.
We're going to talk more about them Stros with our next guest. He's the host of the Locked On Stros podcast. He also has about 17 other jobs as well. I can't keep up. I'm just waiting the next time I go over for an Astros game to see one of those injury attorney billboards, but instead of it being an injury attorney, it's just a big old picture of our guy, Brett Chansey, saying, always positive, always Stros. Good day, Brett. How are you?
Doing good. You're talking to the official, unofficial Yordan Alvarez MVP campaign manager. I'm heading up all pressers, anything you want on Yordan Alvarez becoming the American League MVP. That's my official title right now.
So another job.
Another job.
Yeah.
He never stops.
Well, this one doesn't pay. You know,
that's just for the love of the game.
Is Yordan being elected as the MVP? That's my payment.
Hey, he's already been named Player of the Month, and now he's just named a starter for the Major League Baseball All-Star Game for the second time in his fourth All-Star appearance nomination or whatever. So that's a step in the right direction. All right, bud. After dropping the midweek series to the Twinkies, to come back and bounce back to win 2 out of 3 against a very good Tampa Bay team, even though they may be overachieving, but still a good Tampa Bay team. Just give me your thoughts on how do you feel about the Stros right now on this Monday as they sit 45 and 47 overall and only 2.5 games back?
Yeah, well, you know that's the thing. I don't think this Tampa Bay Rays team is overachieving. I think they are a very good team. I mean, early on in the season when I discussed things around the league with Mike Stanton, they have been my early season favorite to represent the American League going to the World Series. I just don't know of another team that seems to be more complete top to bottom. And so for the Astros to come into the series, I actually did a series preview, and I had the Astros going down 1-2, in a 3-game set. Okay. And so at the end of the day, I was like, okay, this is a series that if you win it, great. But I think the only people that expected to win this series was the Houston Astros themselves. And look, they went out there and they showed up big time against, I think, who was currently the hottest team in baseball when they came into Houston, and hopefully we cooled them off.
You cooled them off, and I think this team is getting healthy at the right time. I think this team is playing some better baseball, and I believe you guys are going to go from sellers to buyers with the upcoming trade deadline. Do you believe in that as well?
Look, I mean, especially with the names that are being thrown around now, I don't know how much of a positive chance there is to reel in a Tarek Skubal. I know the Astros did the big trade for Justin Verlander in 2017, but the Tigers thought Verlander was cooked in 2017. That's why they traded him. I mean, this is a guy that's going to get one of the biggest, if not largest, pitching contracts in all of baseball, right? And so Skubal's probably not coming here. Sonny Gray would be interesting, but he's 10-1 this year. He's killing it, and Boston's going to ask for a king's ransom. The question is this. Yes, they are buyers, but what do they have to package to give back? Isn't Mickey Moniak, Jake McCarthy, are those two guys they want to take a chance on that are having good seasons? Is there a legit pitching piece that they need? Yeah, they're going to be buyers, and I think this series against the Rays may have been the thing that probably Dana Brown needed. Like, okay, we're definitely buying. Like this team, if they can go out and beat the Rays that are red hot, you know what, we can. So Belief is a strange thing. Belief can lead you to do a lot of really good things and sometimes dumb things. So hopefully they're smarter than I think the rest of the world thinks they are, and they make some good moves.
What about going and get yourself a defensive outfielder who also has pop in his bat like Byron Buxton, who looks like he's on the trade block?
So that's the thing. He does have the no trade clause. I know there's been some minor interest in him. I know there's also been interest in Joe Ryan. Minnesota said, "Oh yeah, we're not trading. We're holding everybody in house." Buxton would have to waive the no trade clause. Who do you send him back? Jake Myers? I mean, he's out in AAA. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. I think AJ Blueball is definitely someone that's up. I mean, how can you trade Christian Walker? He's got 20 home runs. You can't trade Paredes because you've got Carlos Correa out. So I just feel like the Astros got so many guys that you don't want to move. And RP3, are we really willing to bet the farm on getting someone in? And does Byron Buxton or does person A or person B, do they make them a World Series team? And what's their goal? Is their goal just to push them further in the playoffs, or is their goal they're trying to put a World Series winner on the field?
It's fair. It's fair. I just think they could use another bat. And now maybe you can get that in other ways, but they are kind of being in an interesting spot here, Brett, because the American League has so much parity that any team that's 3 or 4 games under 500 is still in this. So how many of these teams are really going to be sellers? Like, we can put together articles at ESPN.com all day long about the Twins and about this team and about this team and about this team giving away their best young players or some of their best players. But the market is what the market is, and we could be very well in a scenario where the Astros aren't willing to give up some of their better players. They may not be able to make a move.
No, and that's the thing, because of I think it's 6 teams now that are over 500, or 500 or better. I guess that's like the Rangers that are right at 500. But realistically, I mean, most of the American League seems to be bottom feeders. But I mean, if there's any odd year in baseball where you would have the ability to be in the trade market, it would be this year. But then again, it's also the same year, as you mentioned, that everybody's kind of there, right? Everybody's a contender in the American League almost, it seems like. I just don't know what the Astros have without crushing their farm system, which is still ranked low, but they still have some top prospects. I mean, is it worth it? I know you've let Melton go. I know you've let Gilbert go. You've let some other guys go that weren't really any consequence. Seth Beer, JB Bustakis, all these guys that had these high ceilings. Everybody thought they were going to do great, never did anything. I mean, do you take a chance getting rid of some of your top talent in the minor leagues, or do you take a chance in trying to trade? I mean, would it be stupid? I think it would be to trade someone like a Jeremy Pena or Christian Walker, Isaac Paredes. I just think those are non-negotiable things to me. Those are players you absolutely do not move. And AJ Blueball, I think, is on the block, but they've had Spencer Arrighetti on the block before, and no one took. So if Dana Brown plays his hand right, I think they get something in return. I think more Jake McCarthy or Mickey Moniak is probably more realistic, or a Taylor Ward, than someone like a Byron Buxton. Now, Byron Buxton, I would be all in on. But does Minnesota take on that contract? I think they took on part of Carlos Correa's contract. So there's just so many different scenarios that could play out. I just don't know what direction the Astros are going to be able to go depending on who offers something, because the big contenders are going to be offering stuff. The Brewers, the Cubs, the Dodgers are going to be trying to add to their rosters.
Brett, when I was watching yesterday's game when they won 2-0 over the Rays, I was curious because I was like, I feel like I haven't seen a whole lot of shutout wins by the Astros pitching staff, which makes sense because of the injuries that we've seen so far this year. But at the same time, when I saw 7 total shutout wins for the Astros, that kind of felt like a surprisingly big number. I don't know what you had seen or what your reaction to seeing that is, but to me, I was like, oh, wow, they've actually got more than I thought, or more than I could even remember from this season.
Well, I think that's because we have seen this club, I think, underperform for most of the year, right? And so it just the shutout thing. You would want that number to be a little higher, but yeah, I didn't know they had 7 shutouts. I mean, you literally had to tell me that for me to know that. That's all there is to it. The bottom line is this: if the offense can get more consistent in producing runs, I'm not talking about a 10-run spot in one game. I'm talking about 4 to 6 runs in every game. You take the pressure off of the pitching, and you have an opportunity to do that. I mean, you have the roller coaster in Tatsuya Imai, who you never know if he's up or down. But you got guys like Peter Lambert. Hunter Brown's susceptible right now, but Hunter Brown, you would bet on him better than most. And Spencer Arrighetti, maybe he flips it in July like he did in his first start in July. And so those shutouts can come, but the offense has to be a contributor in that, because you can't keep taxing your bullpen. Your starters have to go longer, and the back end of the bullpen is great. Your starters have to do their job more consistently for that to be a reality.
How do you feel about this series versus the Nationals? I know when I was talking to our guy Kevin Ferd earlier, I mean, his initial reaction was, "Cat, I don't know how we're going to get any of these National players out."
Yeah, they score a lot of runs, dude. They've been
on fire as of late.
Yeah, no, they're see right now. It's funny. They're 46 and 45. Okay, they are 7.5 out of their division because the Braves are in that division at 52 and 36. Don't tell RP3 I know that. But the Nationals have this weird ability to be able to score a lot of runs. Okay. They score a lot of runs, but they also give up a lot of runs, okay? So this is a game where you have the Astros, who have scored 44 runs less than they've given up. This series is going to come down to what pitchers can keep the ball or the opponent in the ballpark. If they can keep the walks down, get the strikeouts up, get them to ground and double plays, you can beat the Nationals at their game because they give up a lot of runs. I don't think every game is going to be 9-8, but you have the potential for these 3 games for them to score a lot of runs. And you hope that the Astros pitchers are locked in, because it would be great to get this was 6 out of 8 series with the Rays. If they get this, it'll be 7 out of their last 9. And so, look, one game at a time, one series at a time.
Brett, we appreciate you coming on. Keep up the tremendous work you're doing over there covering the Houston Astros, and we'll get you back on next week, all right?
Appreciate it, man. Y'all have a good one, and check us out, Locked on Astros, 2 o'clock p.m. on the Locked on MLB channel. Check out Back to the Bullpen, where Mike Stanton's Major League All-Star talks about the 26 first-timers in the All-Star game. Don't miss that 2 o'clock on YouTube, Locked on MLB, Back to the Bullpen. We'll see y'all then.
We're going to go ahead and take a timeout. When we come back, we'll wrap up this edition of RP3 Meche, get you ready for a guest hosting edition of The Lowdown with D-Lo. You'll find out who after this. You're listening to ESPN Southwest Louisiana Sports Station.
This is RP3 and Meche live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Celebrate the lands of the free and the home of the brave with a benefit bicycle ride. American Legion Post 278 in Leonville is putting on a Ride for America this Saturday. All proceeds are going to Post 278 in Leonville. The event begins with a flag-raising ceremony at 8 a.m. and at 2887 Louisiana 347. There's different distance routes to choose from, and there will be live music, refreshment, and a meal to be provided to the riders after the race. The entry fee is $40 per rider. For more information or to sign up, call or text Patrick at 337-308-0312.
ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is your home for the Houston Astros.
And the Astros stun the Mariners.
Hunter Brown, Yordan Alvarez, and the rest of the Astros are looking to get back to the postseason. You can listen to every pitch, hit, and thrilling victory of the Houston Astros.
Incredible!
as Robert Ford and Steve Sparks will be on the call. Tune in this season for live Astros baseball on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Do you know how many tax resolution firms have been forced to close because they were taking advantage of people or have gone out of business? It happens all the time. Hi, this is Kerry Bryson with the Bryson Law Firm. As a matter of fact, there are national tax relief companies that are currently under court orders to cease operations. So if you have IRS issues, do not fall for the threats and scare tactics of the national so-called tax relief companies. The Bryson Law Firm has been doing this for decades. We have a AAA BBB rating, and our entire focus is IRS problems and tax liability issues. An IRS problem is a legal problem. Let the Bryson Law Firm help you get relief the right way. So if you owe back taxes or haven't filed returns in years, it's time to call the Bryson Law Firm and finally resolve your tax issues. Don't put it off any longer. Call the Bryson Law Firm. Our headquarters are in Lafayette, and we have offices statewide. Or visit BrysonLawFirm.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm. The Bryson Law Firm. LSB filing number LA2519684.
Before hitting the road, get hooked up at Match Trailers on Bertrand Drive. Everything you need from truck equipment, accessories, and trailer parts, Match Trailers has it. Match Trailers, 1849 Bertrand Drive in Lafayette, or give Matt a call at 235-7534.
Attention first responders, police officers, firefighters, military and former military personnel. If you have an acre or more of grass to cut, Skag Zero-Turn Mowers would like to thank you by offering you a special discount with their Simply the Brave First Responders program. Save big money on the industry's top-rated zero-turn mower at Nolan's Lawnmower in Carencro. Nolan's can offer well-qualified buyers 0% financing for 48 months. Come by Nolan's Lawnmower at 3547 Northwest Evangeline Thruway and check out the full line of Skag zero-turn lawnmowers.
Black's Outdoor Marine is Acadiana's Spartan Mower headquarters. Spartan Mowers delivering more mowing power and performance. Black's has commercial and residential Spartan mowers with Kawasaki motors in stock now and ready to cut. Black's also has parts, service, and financing available. Call 337-233-4272. That's 337-233-4272 or stop by 1423 Northwest Evangeline Thruway in Lafayette. Black's Outdoor and Marine serving Acadiana since 1968.
Delta Home Center and Delta Trailer Sales, your one-stop shop for utility and cargo trailers. Heavy-duty dump and gooseneck trailers, portable buildings, cabins, decks, porches, fences, carports, and site-built metal shops. Located at Exit 7 in Carencro or at deltatrailersales.com.
One enjoys eating hot dogs and watching baseball. The other loves eating sushi and playing yogurt U-card games. Not sure exactly what that is, but good for him, I guess. Anyway, back to more RP3 and Meche.
Oh, man. Getting off to a strong start for the week. I want to take a moment to thank our guest, Kenneth Farrell, joining us to talk all things World Cup. Brett Chansey for talking all things Astros. We greatly appreciate them making the time for us on this Monday. Tomorrow, we're going to have Blake Purser on. He's going to join us. Going to talk more World Cup. Don't forget to go check out ESPN-SouthwestLouisiana.com tonight for a recap from Team USA's match against Belgium. Once again, James, you told me I cannot refer to Flo as Flo Rida. That is not allowed, correct?
Well, it's also Flo Rida, but
okay. You know why he's Flo Rida? Because he's from Florida. That's clever, huh? That's wordplay. Yeah. He was very successful. I don't ask me why, but he was.
It sounded good.
Are you going to rock the chain out for the Lowdown with D-Lo with our guest host, Jarrett Rozier? Because he is a man of style and substance.
Absolutely.
World traveler. He knows about fashion. Mm-hmm. So I feel like you should be rocking out that new chain that you got on the outside of the shirt, not on the inside. I'm just saying.
Oh, my apologies. I'm so sorry.
All right.
I'm so sorry.
Step your game up, man. We got Jarrett Rozier in the house. What's wrong with you? Come on. It's a good start to the week. Up next is the Lowdown with guest host Jarrett Rozier. That's next.
Imagine building your dream backyard pool without ever leaving your couch. With Duplessis Builders, you can go shop our in-ground gunite pool packages online, start to finish. Browse our pool designs, compare features, see exactly what's included, and choose the package that fits your style and budget. Once you purchase, our team takes over. From permit and excavation to gunite decking and final startup, you click, we build, you swim. Your backyard upgrade is just a few clicks away. Visit DuplessisBuilders.net and buy your pool online today.
Attention first responders, police officers, firefighters, military and former military personnel. If you have an acre or more of grass to cut, Skag zero-turn mowers would like to thank you by offering you a special discount with their Simply the Brave First Responders program. Save big money on the industry's top-rated zero-turn mower at Nolan's Lawnmower in Carencro. Nolan's can offer well-qualified